If your marketing still reads like a leaflet from 2014, the algorithm is swiping way past you. Because entertainment is not the side dish anymore. It's the all bloody main course. Hello Marketing Rebel and welcome back to All Marketing School. It's Fab here, founder, head teacher and resident hype woman. And as always, we're keeping up with marketing, so you don't have to. You're welcome. And today I'm unpacking a juicy little number from Small World and Tracksuit called Entertain or Die. Quite ominous, I know. So yeah, the title is dramatic and no, they are not wrong. Because it turns out, shock and horror, that people aren't opening social to be informed anymore. This report talks us through why social is all about being entertained. In fact, Tracksuit is arguing that if your content only works on people already want to buy from you, you might be too late for your own party. In the next 10 minutes, I will talk you through what the actual shift is and why it matters now, the one company that is basically a media company in a turtleneck, why Kit Kat's humor is a growth engine, and how entertainment is becoming the core of all top brands based on that. May today's class begin. Here's what Entertain or Die is really saying in Fab terms. The job of social has changed. Most people aren't opening TikTok or Instagram to communicate. They're opening it for a little bit of dopamine snack. And when that's the game, your brand isn't just up against your competitors, you are up against creators who do this full time. Meme that moves at the speed of light. Netflix trailers and little snippets, and that one girl that is doing a 7-part story time about her ex's new situationship. So this kind of here's our product, please buy post gets swiped past faster than a bad Hinge profile. Not because the fact that your product is bad or even your messaging is off, but it's because that's not what your audiences is coming here for. User intent is huge, and I genuinely believe that your real job right now is earning attention before you even ask for something. So Apple might be one of the greatest examples to point because Apple historically didn't market like a tech company. Even looking at their 1984 ad, they always marketed like a cultural storyteller that wore a little turtleneck. It aligns incredibly well with the trick that is talked about in the report as well, because people are entertained by human stories and not technical specifications. So Apple makes the product a supporting cast. The stars are the creator, the craft, and the story. And that's why Shot on iPhone became such a staple before everyone turned to big series events on social media. So if you spent 5 minutes in your Explore feed recently, you will know exactly what I'm talking about with this. Think about it. The message of their Shot on iPhone campaign was not about look at our camera. It was about look at what humans can make with this thing in their pocket. And if you're sat there going cool Fab, but I'm not Apple, perfect, because you don't need to be. The takeaway isn't make a cinematic short film, even if a lot of phones allow you to do that these days, is stop leading with a feature and go back to leading with a transformation in a way that is engaging. What does someone become when they use what you sell? Build that story in a way that is engaging and is going through a storytelling arc as well. If you're salivating for another example, then On Running is a masterclass in selling identity as well, because they're not just talking about shoes, but they're selling a different version of you that reflects who you are, but it gives a bit of a level up. That version that trains, maybe shows up at 6 a.m., that is disciplined, slightly unhinged, and low-key intimidating in a very hot way. The report basically calls on strategy, aspiration, infrastructure, which I really love, which is a fancy McKinsey-coded way of saying they turn performance into a story you actually want to be in. And if you're still not sure what I'm talking about, this is how it works. Fitness culture is already entertainment, which is a big bonus. And people are obsessed with training arcs, very buffy of them, personal milestones, resilient stories, and glow-ups, because we all love a glow-up. So On doesn't have to invent entertainment at all, which is great. They can just package what their audience already loves and hand it back, branded, which is amazing and devastatingly effective, if you ask me. And now we get into humor, because most brands use humor like light seasoning, a little dash, a random meme there, a panicked make this funny please to the social intent. But Kit Kat has made humor part of the decision-making process. It's the equivalent of me seasoning any dish. Flavors need to pack a punch, or what even is the point, right? The report frames Kit Kat as a brand that's built long-term relevance through micro-entertainment. Short jokes, fast cultural riffs, bite-sized visuals. The stuff that travels, gets screenshotted, and lives in the group chat. So not everything has to be a documentary. Sometimes you win by being quick, familiar, and culturally fluent, and tapping into what's already happening and building a story around it. But, and that's a chunky but, if humor is part of your brand, it needs purpose. Just to add more layers to it, I know. So you want to think about things like formats or rules or boundaries. And this can be built through a repeatable playbook that the whole team can run with. And now I'm getting to the juiciest part, because this is the bit that made me sit up, trust the espresso in hand, and think like, Because entertain or die makes a big ass statement. The entertainment is becoming your brand operating system, which means brands are quietly shifting from run the campaign to build worlds, content marketing to connected entertainment ecosystems, which is why you might be seeing in-house studios, episodic series-style content, documentary-coded storytelling, whole leadership roles dedicated to entertainment, which is wild. Because relevance is not built on one viral post, but consistency and connection is. So here's my question to you, Marketing Rebel. Can you pick one platform, not 5, not a bit of everything, just one, and then try and finish this sentence for me? We entertain through, is it stories, is it humor, is it character, behind the scenes, hot takes, tutorials with personality? You decide. All right, Marketing Rebels, that's a wrap on today. Make sure that you finish that sentence for me. And as a reminder, if you want the report, it's called Entertain on Dime by Small World and Tracksuit. Go and read it and see what you can learn from it. But if you don't have the time to read this or any other reports, dare I say that every single month inside of our All Access Pass, we have a roundtable called What's New in Marketing, a 30-minute live session where we talk about what's happening, what's new, and what's hot, because you shouldn't be worrying about that. So we do the hard work for you. You can find out more or join us at the All Access Pass by going to allmarketingschool.com/community. And before I leave, don't forget to subscribe so that we can break down all the juicy insights so you don't have to dig through 47-page PDFs on a Tuesday night. But until next time, class is dismissed.